Liam scoffed at the mention of Blackwood Manor. "Ghosts aren't real," he declared, rolling his eyes at his friend's nervous laughter. "It's just an old house." His friends knew him well. They knew how to push his buttons. "Scared, Liam?" teased Max, a sly grin spreading across his face. "Prove it," dared Emily, her voice barely above a whisper. "Spend the night in Blackwood Manor, alone." Liam's heart pounded in his chest, but he couldn't back down now, not in front of them. He pretended to laugh, his voice wavering slightly. "Fine," he said, his tone clipped. He wouldn't let them see his fear. Little did Liam know he was about to walk into a nightmare. Blackwood Manor loomed over the town, a monument to forgotten grandeur and tragedy. Its once bright facade was now weathered and grey. Windows like vacant eyes stared out from the darkness. The iron gates, twisted and rusted, stood open like the jaws of a hungry beast. Local legend whispered of a family that had vanished within its walls, their fate a chilling mystery. The townspeople steered clear, their whispers following Liam as he approached the estate. The air grew cold as he drew closer, a shiver crawling down his spine. He shook his head, determined to appear brave. He wouldn't let an old house intimidate him. A biting wind howled through the skeletal trees, their branches clawing at the night sky. The moon, a sliver of silver behind the clouds, cast long, dancing shadows. Leaves, dry and brittle, swirled around Liam's feet like frightened creatures. He pulled his jacket tighter, the chills seeping into his bones. He could hear his own breath, ragged and loud in the stillness of the night. The streetlights flickered, casting grotesque shapes that danced at the edge of his vision. Each step towards the manor felt heavier than the last. He was alone, truly alone. The heavy oak door groaned as Liam pushed it open, the sound echoing through the silent house. He stepped inside, his sneakers crunching on shattered glass that littered the floor. The air inside was thick with dust and the smell of decay. It clung to his throat, choking him. He fumbled for his flashlight, the beam cutting through the oppressive darkness. Cobwebs, thick as curtains, hung from every corner. The mansion was a tomb of forgotten memories. Liam's heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic rhythm against the silence. Section 5. Creaking steps. Liam moved cautiously through the house, each room a mirror of the last decayed grandeur, choked by dust and neglect. A sudden creak from the floor above made him jump. His head whipped up, the flashlight beam dancing across the ceiling. His breath caught in his throat. Was he imagining things? He listened intently. Silence. He told himself it was just the house settling. Old houses made noises. He took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. But deep down, a seed of fear began to sprout. Section 6. Whispers in the dark. As Liam ventured deeper into the manor, he could have sworn he heard whispers, soft, indistinct murmurs that seemed to slither through the shadows. He stopped, holding his breath, straining to hear. The whispers faded, replaced by an unnerving silence. He shook his head, attributing the sounds to his overactive imagination. It was just the wind, whistling through the cracks in the old house. But he couldn't shake the feeling that he was not alone, that something or someone was watching him. Section 7. The Vanishing. Liam stumbled upon a room at the end of a long, dusty corridor. It was different from the others. This room was strangely cold, the air heavy with a palpable sense of dread. A chill ran down his spine. He felt a presence here, something unseen but intensely felt. He thought he saw a figure standing in the shadows, a fleeting glimpse of a woman in a white dress. He blinked, and she was gone. He rubbed his eyes, his heart pounding against his ribs. He was exhausted, his mind playing tricks on him. That's all it could be. Section 8. A desperate search. Panic welled up inside Liam. He needed to get out, now! He turned to leave, but the hallway seemed to stretch endlessly before him. He ran, his footsteps echoing in the silence. The house seemed to mock him, its shadows twisting and turning, disorienting him. He was lost. Hopelessly lost. His chest heaved as he struggled to catch his breath, his fear threatening to consume him. Where was the exit? He couldn't remember. He was trapped. Section 9. The Note. Just as Liam was about to give in to despair, he saw it. A faint light flickering beneath a door at the end of the hallway. He stumbled towards it, hope surging through him. He threw open the door and found a small, dusty room. A single candle flickered on a table, casting long dancing shadows. And there, on the table beside the candle, was a note. The handwriting was spidery and faint, the ink faded with time. It read, "Beware the whispers, they will lure you in, don't trust your eyes, they will deceive you, run while you still can." The note was signed simply Eleanor. Section 10, The Haunting continues. Liam was never seen again. The search parties found no trace of him. The mystery of Blackwood Manor deepened, the legend of its ghostly inhabitants solidified. But some say Liam never truly left. They say that on the coldest, darkest nights you can still hear him whispering in the shadows, lost and alone, trapped forever within the walls of Blackwood Manor, a chilling reminder to those who dared to tempt fate. The haunting continues.